Good evening. March 20th, 2019. First day of spring. It's good to see. It's 40 degrees, 50 degrees today, and it's going to stay this way for a week or so. Looks like we're maybe past the worst of it. Of course, it can always snow here in Ohio up to May. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about the concept going around that is left-wing or Democratic driven. It's a push by Democrats to allow 16-year-olds to vote in the United States. And being about education and all about education, obviously, I think it makes sense that 16-year-olds should be able to vote. But I don't think it makes sense for the reason Democrats want 16-year-olds to vote. Voting in the last election after 8 years of a Democratic president to make change, nearly 60% of Americans voted, of the ones registered to vote. This is significant. And the only times we saw highs like that were around 58% and 61% the first and second time Obama was elected. And that was a huge voter push to get Obama elected. I remember the night before the election when Obama ran for president the first time. When I left Sinclair at 10:30 at night, there were people lined up by the hundreds in Dayton who were going to be able to register and vote the next day. And they're going to register everybody by midnight. And not really being racial here, but 90% of the crowd was not white. It was a goal to register as many minority people and illegal people to vote for Obama. And now the Democrats want to fix it so we're going to let people who are 16 that might not know what they're doing vote, who are driven by passion instead of logic. I know 16-year-olds that shouldn't be driving a car. I know a number of them that waited to get a driver's license because it's so crazy out there now. But to look at the motivation of this, to allow younger people to vote or say they have a right, which it can be argued, but I mean, I guess you can throw it out facetiously and say, oh, maybe 12-year-olds should start voting since they know everything and have cell phones, and children are always smarter than adults. Right. So we need responsibility in this country, but then you look at 21, the age of 18. What do these things mean? If they're going to move the voting age to 16, they've got to reinvestigate all the things around adulthood. But I'm going to argue straight up, 16-year-olds in today's world are not even close to adults. And I want to sound old here, real old. They're not even close to the adults most of us were when we were 15, 16. I had already had a couple jobs and was still working fine. I had kept my job for 2 to 3 years by then. I was a real American. Now, what does it mean? We want young people to take part, and one of the reasons the Democrats are pushing this, it's a group called Vote 16 USA, and there are 5 rules, for getting it done. The one main rule is because children need to be taught civics in high school better than they are, and this will force that to happen. The other one they said that kind of stuck out was they want voting to become a habit. People might vote out of habit, but the reason you want people voting regularly is because they feel patriotic about the United States and the symbology of the flag, etc., and people dying in war for 18 years in this last engagement that continues. Allowing 16-year-olds isn't going to make better civics classes or better civics teachers, maybe in a few cases. And you aren't going to make any human have a habit they don't want to. But young people, they do need to be persuaded, and they do need to be given power, and the world will be theirs soon enough. But once and for all, I think we all will agree the Democrats in this world today, Trump isn't perfect, but the Democrats today will do anything to get their people in office. And I got to believe there's more to it than just human rights and them counting their money. Have a good night, y'all. Peace out.